Welcome back. Well, second day in a row of 100-degree heat. That makes 3 so far this summer, but we're a long ways away from the 34 from last summer, so that is the good news. We also set a record low. Let's get over to the key wall. That 83 degrees, by the way, used to be the all-time warmest low on record up until 2024. Then it was 84 back on August of 24th, 2023. So we may have a chance of setting that all-time low yet, even though we're not setting the daytime high records. 102, the record on this date last year. And notice the normal, 75 and 93. It's been a long time since we've been close to normal for any extended period of time over the course of June and July and now into August. So we still have this ridge of high pressure, not as close as where it was last year. So we're not seeing 103, 105, 107. We saw 110 last summer. We're not going to see that. And it's getting a little bit weaker here. So eventually we're going to see, one, a little bit of a frontal trough dropping to the south, and two, maybe eventually some moisture pooling to give us a chance of showers and storms, but that won't come until next week. In the near term, though, high and dry. You got Debbie on the East Coast, and locally, as we examine our local Doppler radars, clean sweeps across the board. No issues, clear skies. Different story, though, along the East Coast as we continue to track Tropical Storm Debbie, broad center of circulation right about here. More tropical moisture spiraling around and dumping very heavy rainfall and flooding from the Wilmington area through points right along the South Carolina, North Carolina border and just north of Myrtle Beach or to the Conway area, seeing some very heavy rain, and farther north and west of there. So there will continue to be some big flooding going on because this is a slow-moving system. So we'll have more on Debbie in a second. Elsewhere in the tropics, it's relatively quiet. Next one we may be talking about is down here in the intertropical convergence zone. There are some hints that this is going to get farther to the north, so it could get some spin potential here and then eventually develop down the line. So we'll keep an eye on that, but no concerns over the next week, nor with this tropical wave we've been tracking since this past weekend. It looks pathetic and is heading for Central America, so the Hurricane Center bringing down the odds of development down to 0%. So that is good news there, and high pressure is going to dominate through this weekend, so we don't have to worry about the tropics overall. Meanwhile, Debbie's still causing problems. You can see the enhanced convection on the enhanced infrared satellite imagery. Offshore right now, 60-mile-per-hour winds. It's not so much about the wind with this system. It's going to be about the rain. It could strengthen a little bit prior to landfall. That's later tonight and will still be a tropical storm as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Thereafter, a weak low, but it's going to bring a ton of rain with it all the way up through the East Coast into New England. And we can see that there. Moving off to the north, our weather, we are surrounded by mostly blue, but notice what happens by Monday. We start seeing red, so higher atmospheric moisture should allow for a better chance of storms, but if high pressure is dominating, it might not be widespread showers and storms. And then the model also, Euro, picking up on that potential system that could develop out in the Atlantic. We think that stays in the Atlantic. So overnight tonight through tomorrow, another warm one. Here's the front we're talking about, but it's not really a cool front. It's just going to be a dry front, but it should bring in lower humidity and lower dew points, so the heat index won't be quite so bad as we head into Friday and the weekend. Upper 90s to near 100 pretty much across the board, across most of Acadiana for tomorrow. And again, that heat index pushing way up there near 110 to 114, and the height of afternoon heating. Try just stay indoors and not work outdoors anytime between noon and about 6 p.m. That's when we're close to that 110 mark, so keep that in mind. So overnight tonight, we could set another record low. The record was set just last year of 81 degrees. Could be 82 or 83 once again. Fair skies. Tomorrow, back up to 100 to 101 for a high. That heat index up to 113. The record, though, not being threatened, we don't think at this point. And upper 90s to near 100 into the weekend, but we're going to see lower humidity, so it won't feel quite so bad. It's easy for me to say from an air-conditioned environment. And then next week, the chance of a few afternoon storms, but rain chances aren't too high, but the temperatures stay high. That's it for weather for now. We'll have more coming up in just a little bit.